These right here are green mangoes. Essentially, they are mangoes which have been picked before they've had the chance to turn ripe, and with that, they also have a much more sour flavor than ripe mangoes, almost as if they still taste like ripe mangoes but don't have the sweetness of ripe mangoes. I found these for sale at my favorite Vietnamese restaurant that also doubles as a Vietnamese supermarket, and they're about $2 to $3 each. Regardless, I wanted to see if a chung made from green mangoes would taste any good. And if you don't know what a chung is, it's basically a syrup, but instead of boiling the fruit in sugar and water, we're just covering the fruit in sugar and allowing that sugar to draw out the liquid, which will mix in with the sugar and create a syrup. Now, I use the Korean name for this type of syrup, but it's not uniquely Korean. I have seen other countries and cultures also use a similar method for preserving fruit. Now, I've gone ahead and peeled all the green mango, which isn't necessary, but leaving the skin on can lead to a higher chance of fermentation happening to the syrup, which also isn't a bad thing, but it's not what I want for this as the first time I'm trying this out. Once peeled, I'll cut all the green mango fruit off the seed inside and then cut the pieces even more into smaller chunks. This will just help speed up the whole process of the sugar drawing out the liquid. Now, one of the most important parts of making chung is to get the ratio right, and it's not too hard at all. It's just equal parts sugar and fruit, and to figure that out, I'll first measure the weight of all my mango chunks I just cut up, and then take another bowl and pour that same weight I recorded from the mangoes in sugar. White sugar or cane sugar works well, however brown sugar or dark brown sugar can add other flavors that will change the final product. I used organic cane sugar for mine, and my mangoes ended up being around 470 grams, so I measured out 470 grams of sugar as well. Now, it's a good habit to be exact, but going over on the sugar won't hurt the final result. If anything, just a little bit of undissolved sugar will be left over at the end. I always like to take a little bit of sugar I weighed out and then mix it in with the fruit to give it an initial coating, and then transfer the fruit into a clean glass flip top jar, which I'll then top with the remaining sugar to create a sugar cap on top. I'll give the jar a little shake down to even things out and work some sugar down into the fruit, close the lid, and then set this aside for a few days for the sugar to get to work. Now, there is no exact amount of time it takes for this process. It's mostly about checking to see if the sugar is dissolved. And for me, maybe after 2 or 3 days, the sugar is almost completely dissolved. So I'm going to separate the solids from the syrup through a fine mesh sieve. It's always a good idea to also press down on the fruit to get all that juice out. I also decided to give one of the mango pieces a taste, and honestly, it kind of just tasted like a ripe mango now. However, it was lacking that sort of freshness that comes from fresh fruit. Now, after pouring some of this syrup into a bottle and thinking I'd be done with this, I gave it a taste and it was okay tasting. Not much flavor other than the general fruitiness and sweetness. So to make this at least a little more interesting, I poured the syrup back into the jug, added about half a teaspoon of citric acid, mixed it in to dissolve, and then gave another taste. And I have to say, it tasted a lot better with that little bit of acidity added to it. I've always found that very acidic or bitter fruits or vegetables make for the tastiest or most interesting tasting chung syrups. But now I know how green mango tastes as a chung. Would I do it again? Probably not. I would probably instead just eat fresh green mango, but this was fun anyway. And if you enjoyed this, be sure to let me know what else I should try to make into chung syrup in the comments down below.